So here I am. How you doing? Did you get any better from 1 hour ago or 2 or 3 or from yesterday or from last week or from last month? It's a real big struggle to keep yourself going from one moment till the next because I'm telling you what, I wish I could find this video. There was a guy on there and he was saying how there's like 5 negatives to every positive. And it was so good and I can't find the search. And I'm talking about like this was 3 years ago. That's what makes me mad. I didn't know 3 years ago that we have to push like, and I didn't know it would save it to your favorites. I don't know how long I had YouTube. I'm going to go off on 50 million subject because I can't keep my mind straight. It's not because I'm buzzed or it's not because of any of that. It's just all that stuff that's in your mind. That's what happens. But I had a point just now that I want to talk about, and I forgot from 5 seconds ago. Vertigo, anything that comes in between, that's what's going to do to you. If your nail's dirty, like I saw a little black thing in my nail, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Any little thing to me distracts me. And then I forget what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm so sensitive like that. But I think I really do know why. It just has to do with growing up and stuff. Plus all the other stuff that comes in the meantime. But so now I'm going to sit here and look like a dork for a couple minutes and forgot what I said 5 minutes ago. But that don't really matter, and that's my whole point of this. So like, and I'm picking my nail as I do this, and I'm trying to think about what I'm saying. I give you guys so much credit. Your videos are so cool. you just you're just on the roll, like it just flows. I love that. I love that when shit flows. I love it. It reminds me of flowing water or flowing this and that. It's cool. This is me. I'm smoking, having a few sips of the yak. Shit like this. I don't mean to be this way. I really freaking don't. It's the only thing I found to calm myself for now. I mean, there's probably hundreds of other things that I could do, but nothing really kind of satisfies me. I think when we just been through so much stuff, like in my last video, I would really love to talk more about is what I went through as a kid, because really that kind of formed my whole life. I mean, it really did. And I don't know how we could capture kids more in the beginning and get them more into the Bible or whatever. And on the other hand, though, I don't want to not be responsible, but I don't want to, I don't know. How could I say this? It's okay if somebody blames me. It's okay. It's okay. They say, "Oh, Steph, it was your fault. You guided me the wrong way." Okay, that's fine. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to guide people in the wrong way. I don't want to tell them, you know, hey, do this, and well, first of all, nothing's ever going to be right that you tell anybody. Put it that way. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera because I have to think when I look down. It's the stupidest thing. I want to give you my complete attention, but I don't want to guide anybody in the wrong way. I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to be responsible if they mess up. That's not it. I just want to make sure before I do something that it's probably, I guess, more right than more wrong. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just rambling in this video, and if it got boring, like I totally understand. Sometimes I bore myself, but on the other hand, sometimes I like to listen to myself, because when I listen to myself, then I start to make sense, which is really crazy. or see if I don't make sense. You know, am I okay? And I think a lot of that, where that comes from, is because when you have parents or somebody, or you didn't have a lot of support when you were younger, or you didn't have any really mentors, or okay, fine, church thing. My friend was mentioning she started going when she was 12 to church, and that's the same thing with me. I think it was 11 or 12, because I remember. And another thing, my mom and dad got divorced. My candle's missing. My candle from when I got baptized Lutheran. So what we have to do really is just forget about that. Like, I don't have any pictures and stuff. There's so many reasons why. I never could afford a camera, so I used to buy the disposables. And when our son was born, um, I guess I let it sit 4 months, and then when I went to go develop it, they told me I let it sit too long. So, well, whatever. So I lost out there, and then life was so rough with autism and stuff that you didn't have any really good memories, so you weren't taking photos, because when your life is so messed up, you what are you gonna have? I don't know. It's not really any photos you could have took. I don't know. I see a lot of people online, and they're like taking photos, and man, goodness gracious. Just like that barbecue pit, boys. Although he's putting fattening food out there. I don't even eat fattening food, my opinion. And I'm fat. So, whatever. Lost my subject again. If you want to hear somebody ramble, just come to this channel. Because she'll just ramble all day about everything. But what I really did want to talk about is, like, I don't feel like I'm good at anything really, except things that you can't get paid for. Yeah, I don't have any crafty ideas or anything, but I could come up with some for other people. Like, if they're already good at it, I could add ideas. I so much wish that somebody could give me some, but I mean, it's the situation I'm in. There's believe it or not, and I shouldn't sit and say that, but I feel like there's none. There's none. Um, if I could sit and explain my life, just there's none, unless I take some really, really, really big iffy chances. I mean, I'm talking big, and to where you shouldn't say it online, get in trouble for it. Because I have a couple different situations where I don't know what decision to make. I don't know if somebody's following me online, that my credit reports, or porters, or whoever the hell they are, they put me in a real big position. I mean, I know I didn't pay the car payment anymore, but it's sitting here still now, and they will not repo it. So what should I do? Take it apart? I can't afford a lawyer to ask them the questions. They will not repo it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm to the point where, what should I do? Take it apart, even though I don't even know how. And they told me at the car payment company to take it to a salvage yard, okay? Although when I call there, I got to have the title, which I didn't completely own it yet because it wasn't paid off. So they are charging me a monthly storage fee when I'm the one that's storing it. They are also charging me the payment that I originally pay, and interest and everything else. It seems against the law to be able to do that. I'm the one storing it, blah, blah. I mean, I know it's not right that I'm not paying the payment, but I got in a big jam and everything else, whatever. But still, the bill keeps adding up, but yet I cannot get them to come repo it. Isn't that interesting? So I find myself falling into all these things that are really, really off the wall and people just don't have any answers for. But it makes me wonder if I start tearing that effer apart and I start doing something else, you know, then what? Get their attention? Should I call them up and threaten them? It's not me. It's not the way I am. Big, big, big questions. Big, big, big jams. And that's where I think it brings people to. I just want to say that I do understand. If you ever get to the point in your life you just want to end your life, or you want to set something on fire, or you're just sick of it all, like don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Maybe don't do it at all. Maybe there is another way. I just haven't found the other way yet. Because this world is changing. It is totally changing. It's been changing. We all know that. Like, I've heard a few of your stories and things, and I don't want to call them stories. Life experiences, real life experiences that are like really, really hard to know what to do. Um, if we try to be honest, you know, it just don't work. I mean, even to the point of they should repo the car, which honestly they should do, but yet they're putting me in this situation to where I might have to do something really strange. Okay, it's really confusing. It's really, really confusing. I don't know the answers yet. I wish I could, but I haven't found them yet. And so now I'm sitting here like, duh, like, what am I supposed to do? So, I don't know. Like, to me, if I were to ask God right now, like, what am I supposed to do? He'd probably would tell me you should have not gotten in that situation in the first place. But that's what my dad would say, you know. So I don't really have half the time know if I'm hearing from God or if I'm using my own brain, or if I'm letting the world get involved in my mind, or like, I don't know, please forgive me if I said that wrong, but I mean, or, I really don't know what's happening. So, I'm sorry that I'm giving a bad impression of having a beer. I just want you to know the truth. And the reason why we're up all night is because we're waiting for school. We got like about 3.5 hours left, so we are on a late schedule, and I really blame myself a lot of times like I'm a bad mom, but I'm not. We're just doing what we have to do to get by. But then I have the other questions of when there is no solution to how the laws or rules have changed in order to what the companies can do these days and get away with, then how are we supposed to react? You know, you don't want to take your car and go lay it on fire and claim insurance money, which I can't do anyway. I can't even afford insurance, so good. I hope that the creditors do see this and they'll see what position they're putting me in. I don't know. I should probably do a whole video on that right now about how they will not repo my van, and how then I keep owing more and more and more, which I know that if they repoed it, I'd still owe. I don't know how far they could keep charging you. Well, first of all, the storage should end. And listen, you know, if I had the money, I'd go file bankruptcy, sure. But when I did look up online about a guy who had a motorcycle and they did not repo his motorcycle, and they wouldn't, what he did is he kept driving it. But my problem is they have it shut off where I can't drive it because they shut it off. But I found little tricks online to be able to bypass that. If I had enough courage, maybe I would, but although in the meantime there is some work that needs to be done on it. And maybe I shouldn't tell this online, but I really don't care because what I shouldn't test, but what else do I have to lose? I shouldn't say that because then the devil will sit and then come and attack me some more. But, I'm really, really sick of him right now, and I want to expose his lies and his corruption and his ways. I'm I'm a lot better at doing that than I am preaching the word of God. It seems a lot of people too, like my dad told me, there is no gray area. He told me when my mom and dad got divorced, he told me that I had to choose a side. And to me, I did not choose a side, but he did think I did choose a side because when my mom left that day, she needed somewhere to go. And the way my dad was acting, I'm like, come on, just come with me. And I might have told the story before. My mom was upset over the phone and she was having a hard time, and I could hear my dad's voice in the background, and I'm like, okay, no matter what, I'll be over there in 10 minutes. I live like 10 minutes away, and I will be sitting 2 doors down. It's amazing what we can come up with when we're in a really intense situation. It's amazing. No matter what, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'll be sitting 2 doors down. If anything happens, come out there because, like, I didn't want to be involved because when you get yourself involved with divorces or something else, you're going to be the one to blame. Not like I care. Not like I care. I, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't have nothing else to lose. Like, meaning that, like, what can you do to hurt me? Um, things are already so screwed up. Like, what does it matter anymore? Maybe I'm wrong on all that. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. But in certain situations, when you're in the devil's world, what else are you going to do? So anyway, I sat out there, and next thing you know, the porch light starts flicking. And I'm like, great. That could be my mom giving me a signal like things are wrong. Never really thought it could have been my dad flicking it. But when the porch light flicked, I got out of my car and I walked over 2 doors, and I was trying to look closer. And next thing you know, I see my dad standing in front of the door. Can't see my mom. And it was him giving me the signal. Because my dad had originally told my mom to call her daughter. The day they were in the argument, he said, call your daughter. Okay. Then she did call me, and we were on the phone. I said, no matter what, I'll be there in 10 minutes because they were having some problems anyway. But I didn't want to get involved. So she already did call me after he said that. So he knew she called me. But he did not know that I'd be sitting 2 doors down. Okay, that's the story. Why am I talking about this? Because it bugs me. That's how me and my dad's relationship ended. That's why he don't talk to me anymore. And that's why he didn't talk to me in 10 years. So when he started flicking the porch light, which I thought it was her, I thought I would just sit out there, and if there's anything that happens, she could just run out the door and get in the car. I was just there to protect her. Or anything that happened, really. It's not like I was taking her side. I didn't want to get involved. But I did. But what are you going to do when it's family? So he flicked the porch light, and I walked up, and then I got closer because I saw him. Then I got closer. I was like, F it. I'm just going to go onto the porch. Here I am. So I get up there, and he says to me right away, if she leaves this house, she is your responsibility. And the way he did it in such rage, I was like, well, screw you. She is coming with me because you're acting like a raving maniac. Like, I tried to not get involved. I tried to sit there in case anything happened for anything. Not just to take her away, not just to be on her side, not nothing like that. Although my dad always tried to get me to choose a side when I did live at home. Now, I had only been on my own for about a year or two, maybe 3, but it could have probably only been 2. You you knew not to get involved in the relationships, but the thing was, is he always dragged me in. When I lived at home, it was always like he would call me out of my room and he would say, who's right and who's wrong? I'm shut my eyes because I'm sorry, I have to think. And I remember the one day I says, well, neither one of you are wrong. I think I said it in that way. He says, no, she's wrong. She has to be wrong. And he got mad at that. And that day, he's calling me in, put it that way. He's calling me in to get involved. And then when I give my opinion, I'm wrong. And I always tried to give my opinion in a way that would try not to put neither one of them down, to be neutral, to you know what I'm trying to say? And he didn't like that either. He probably would have liked me to say, hey, she's all wrong. She's a piece of junk. She's this, she's that, um, you're right and everything else. And I'm not going to do that when it's totally against what I have heard and the story I have heard, because I would sit there. My room's right next to the kitchen. They would always sit there and talk all the time. I could hear every word and I didn't want to. I'd put my headphones in, I'd do everything else. But I wanted to be there on guard in case anything happened. This is when I'm younger. So I guess that's what I went into when now I'm 21. Get my own place, this and that, finally. No wonder why I ended up in the hospital with there's like, oh, well, if you don't calm down before you're 30, you're going to be dead. Yeah, well, come live in my family. Maybe we'll know the reason why. Guess what? Made it to 47. I ain't dead yet. So screw hospitals and their stupid crap too. But anyway, so that night, when he jumped in my face right away, didn't even give me a chance to know what's going on. He thought it was all planned, which part of it was that I would be outside 2 doors down, but it wasn't planned that, I would go take my mom or whatever. I was just going to be there. And I always used to intervene, like be the mediator between my mom and dad. I told her, just get in the car. He's going to act like that, just get in the car. So when she came to my apartment, um, she never went home. So there you go. My dad never talked to me again. 10 years. He was calling my phone. He was telling me how to get her into the Bible, how to take her to Christian counseling, but he wasn't telling me where to go, nothing like that. He was just putting all the blame on me, that it was me. And if I didn't bring her back, like the supposed Christian woman, not me, the Christian woman, but her being a Christian woman, and to do the right thing, to go home to her husband. He was saying it that way. Then I would be guilty. You see. So I was guilty. Because I wasn't going to tell her to go home like the churches these days do. I'm sorry, I wasn't. Because I thought that sorry to say, but I thought that I had seen more than the churches would know. And I thought it was not safe for her to go back into that situation. And I didn't try to feed her. I didn't tell her how bad my dad was. I didn't go on and on about that. She had already made the decision herself that day on the porch when he came out the way he did. If she leaves this house, that's the first thing he said after the porch light flicked. She is your responsibility. I'm like, cool. I don't care. Put more on me. I don't give a shit. You already did my whole life. You already made me. Maybe I let my feelings get in the way. But the thing was, is I didn't. I knew how he was. I knew how he reacted. I knew what he did. That is the truth. I've seen it. It wasn't safe for either one of them. It's just crazy. And the reason why I talk about this is because that's why me and my dad don't talk. And that's why me and my brother don't talk. It's all about this divorce in October 16th, 1996. I will never forget that date. I think October 16th, 1996 is when she filed for divorce. Now she's dead. And sorry to be so blunt, but I have seen in the past 3 years, I haven't seen photos of my dad in about 10. But I tell you what, I don't really think that it's his age that's making him look old. I really do think it's what could you say? I almost want to say the guilt and maybe the things he's realizing he didn't do. I laugh because I don't want to cry, but it's his fault too. You can't just blame one person. I don't believe in that. You can't just blame one person. It wasn't all one person's fault. But, I mean, you could put a percent on to where maybe it is one more person's fault than the other. But, I mean, you could do that. But, like, I feel you can. Maybe that's not really real to do. And that's where it comes back into, okay, a sin is a sin. Okay, we're all sinners. We all mess up. You know what I'm saying? We all mess up. We all sin. I just don't know how to get it to the point to where, whatever. And my dad always told me that I was sticking in a gray area. And he told me always, even like today, say. He hasn't talked much, but I know he still believes that. He does not believe in a gray area. It's either do or don't. That's it. Black or white. Cut or dry. Um, Fail or succeed. He's so cut and dry. And a lot of us are in that. Maybe it will end up to be that way where it's cut or dry or this or that, but I don't like to really believe that because I think that causes separation in a lot of us, like right now with rich or poor. Okay, if anybody would ask me, then fine, I'm poor. If you want me to put it black and white, I'm poor. I'm on my ass. I don't know how to make it work. There's no answers, blah, blah, blah. I don't like to put a label or the black and white type of thing on something because when you do that, it's not helping the person who is hurting or lower or anything. I mean, I like to be in the gray area and to hear both sides and everything else. Like I don't really know if I'm saying it right, but I'd rather be in the gray. It's not really like I'm worried about choosing a side and then to where I will fail. It's just that if I'm unsure, I can't choose a side. So how can you make me do that? But then it goes into the Bible to where, like, when they got into the boat with Jesus or they did not get in the boat. I mean, I have to, I feel like I want to know more about that because, like, why did Jesus pick those certain people? You know, why did he? I don't think it was to where he was just going around and saying, hey, everybody that wants to come in the boat, just come in the boat. I don't think it was that, right? He actually kind of knew who he chose, I think. Didn't he? I don't know. I'm confused. So I have to do a lot of work on things, but that is a lot about my main problem is in life. Besides when I was younger and my grandpa would come around, he was always an alcoholic and a drunk, and my mom was always afraid. I thought my dad would be more understanding. He wasn't an open person. His hugs looked fake because he just tap you on the back. I mean, he wouldn't hug or kiss me, nothing like that. So I don't know what it's like to have a dad. I don't. So sorry, Dad, but I don't. You haven't been a dad to me. And it makes me feel like since I know how he was with me, he couldn't have been that way with my mom either. So I do find myself blaming him. What I know of my mom is she always had dinner at the table at 5 o'clock. She always took care of my dad. She always tried her best. And what I see of my dad is he just never really wanted to listen to her. He always made it to a big deal. He'd say, she calls me at work at this o'clock in the morning. She does this and this because they always work nights. So I think that's why I'm a night person because I've always been up my whole night since I don't even know. He worked nights ever since I can remember 3 years old. I don't know. Bad patterns, bad whatever, but you do what you have to do. So if he could only work nights, whatever, but then a lot of us were more calm when he was at work, which was at night, so we were up at night. But although we were helping him do his business, he opened in the middle of the night. We were working and trying to please him all the time. And you know what, I get sick of pleasing men. Please forgive me, but I don't want them to sit and prove to me that they're worthy. That's not what I want. All I would ask for is for them to give a little sympathy and understanding and talk and time. But although that is a lot to ask, so I do find that certain men don't do that. They don't want to. I don't know why. But I think that if they would and they would try to work together more, if they could understand the woman more and the woman could understand the men more, like I have a blockage there of wanting, I guess, to give my all, and maybe that'll be my question or my answer to the question I asked is like, I don't know how to give my all to God because I really don't know how to give my all to anybody. I don't know how you could give your all and give away yourself. I don't know. That's what Jesus did for us. It seems not humanly possible. So I better end it now because I'm ready to cry. And this video went 34 minutes because I'm on my laptop. But I do really like to talk. I like to share. Maybe my situation isn't that bad. And I know yours, to me, is always worse than mine. And I used to always give attention and always put myself in, because that's how it was since I can remember with my mom and dad, that I do need to learn to live for myself. But the thing is that's the only way I know how to learn for myself or live for myself is through you. It's freaking crazy. Pull the damn hat down. I don't know. Beer is a depressant, but that's not why I'm depressed. So, please, God, forgive me. Amen. See you later. Catch you on the flip side. Ah, shit.